Hey there, welcome back. This is Mary with the Painted Peach. Today I am in a playlist for vintage romance and I am doing a surprise napkin exchange for this video, and I got a Marilyn Monroe napkin for mine. So I'm going to take this napkin, and this was all a surprise, so I had to get out a few items and create something with this napkin. Once I figure out which surface I'm going to use, I'll put the other ones away. I decided to use this little dollar store sign, or it's either a dollar store sign or a Dollar General, and I'm going to use it as my surface. And of course we are going to cut one of these Marilyns off of here, and we are going to decoupage it onto our surface. I get a little bit of Mod Podge on my fingers, just enough to pull the napkin apart, and that way I can take the other layer off. We don't need the other layers. If you tried to decoupage that on with the layer, of course your Marilyn picture would just come right off. So you want to make sure you get all the layers from the background, and I'm going ahead and cutting it first so that I can keep my other 3 Marilyns for another project. Now I'm just taking some white chalk paint and covering my surface, because once I put this napkin on here, all this stuff in the background is of course going to show through. So we want to make sure we cover all that up, and usually I like to use a white or lighter colored paint so that it makes your image pop. I did do like 3 or 4 coats on this because it was still showing through. I made sure it was nice and dry, and then I'm going to get my napkin and see where I want it and cut off any excess on the bottoms, because it'll be kind of hard to sand it if it's underneath those ridges. Those 2 wooden pieces are a little bit up, so I wouldn't be able to get anything in there. So now I'm just going to get my Mod Podge out, and we're going to apply this napkin to the surface. I chose to do the wet method. Sometimes I will dry my Mod Podge and then put my napkin on and then use my little iron to apply it. Doing that method, you just do your iron over maybe like some parchment paper or something like that, and you are able to heat the Mod Podge back up, and it just causes you not to have so many wrinkles. Here I just have like a little glove kind of thing on my finger, and I'm just using that to rub out the wrinkles as best I can. That way I don't tear my napkin, because it is wet. I want to make sure it's good and applied and nice and dry before I start sanding. Here I'm just using a little fingernail file to do the sanding. It just seemed appropriate for the smaller surface. You can use a little gator sander, or they sell the little sander blocks, whatever you have to use. Now we have the napkin on there. We just need to fancy it up a little bit. I think it's super vintage like this, but I wanted to make it more of a glam type thing because it is Maryland, right? So here you see me deciding between different kinds of ribbons to use on there, and I do decide to use this sequin one. I think it was perfect. And then I have some of this fur ribbon that I'm going to use as well, and it's going to be super adorable, and I just love the way it turns out. I decided to use this ribbon at the part where she has her dress just to give it a more realistic look, and then I'm going to add some pearls and stuff like that as well. I want to remind you that this is a playlist collaboration, and it's hosted by Take 5, which is the Painted Peach, myself, Funky Junk Inspiration, and Jeannie's Palette. And we do these playlists every Friday with a group of creatives, and if you are a creative, we'd love to have you join us. If you're not a creative, we love if you join us and watch. This sequin ribbon I have here came on that wooden spool, and I believe I got that from Heart's Desire, and I'll try to put her website in my description. I don't know why I can't get words out, and if you'd like to order some ribbon from her, there will be that. I really love it when it comes on these spools. I think I just buy the ribbon just for the spools. So I am gluing that onto the top and the bottom. I've already got the bottom done. So now we're just adding it to the top wooden piece, and we're going to glue it all the way around to the back and make sure it's nice and secure and tight. Now I had the bright idea to use some pearls and things like that, so I'm digging in my stash to find what to use next to embellish this up a little bit more. So I have these little flat back pearls from the dollar store, and we're going to add those to her necklace to make it 3D, and that way it'll be a little bit more embellished. And there it is. I think that's beautiful. All right, and then I am deciding what else to do. I decide I want to get this glittery chalk paint out, and we're going to use it on her lips so that they sparkle a little bit. They're nice and burgundy red color, and it matches perfectly. So adding this gives a little bit of a glitter effect and a little bit 3D effect also. The only thing left to do after that is add a hanger. I do create a little dress that I don't do on video to go with it, and that dress form was also purchased from Heart's Desire. Today was Vintage Romance, hosted by Take 5, and that is Jeannie's Palette, Funky Junk Inspiration, and myself, the Painted Peach. If you'd like to join us next Friday, we'll have a whole new theme. Here is Marilyn all finished up, and then here she is with the dress form that I created to match. I hope you all have a great day and stay peachy.